up, Carmen Nation? Welcome into NBA DFS Live for Tuesday, January 14th. I'm your host, Ben Hosser. I'm joined by Joey today. We had to boot. We went Survivor, and we kicked Bales off the island. We got Joey in here today. He's freshly shaven for everyone watching, but man, I don't know. I had last night was one of the last night. Okay, the year's only been 14 days. Last night was the worst night of the year for me. I got crushed in NBA because I didn't play Julian Okafor. I got crushed because I bet a ton of money on Clemson. It was a horrible night. So we need a rebound day. We need to rebound because last night was rough for me. Although Joey, you have what are the odds right now? You have this bet you bet the Titans to win the Super Bowl before the playoffs. What odds did you get this at?
I got a 75-1 on that.
All right. So are you gonna be sweating this game because if they win on Sunday, I mean it's literally probably like a 50-50 chance, right? Anything can happen in the Super Bowl. Obviously, if the 49ers win, they're a better team, but anything can happen. And honestly, the way the Titans and the Niners play are relatively similar, somewhat. So I think that would be an interesting game. But are you gonna be sweating this game on Sunday?
Yeah, but I'm pretty excited because the Chiefs can't really tackle, so I'm hoping Derrick Henry goes for another 200 rushing yards.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I think that. I don't know. It's really key for the Titans to get up. When they get up, it's really hard for teams to come back on them because obviously Derrick Henry's really good. They're really good at controlling the clock. But I mean, I don't know. The Chiefs came back from 24-0 in a quarter. That was insane.
That was. I had all my second half props in when it got up 24-0. I maxed them all out because it's gonna be really easy because the Chiefs were just gonna have to throw the ball. But then nope, they were winning at halftime. Makes
insane.
No sense.
It was weird to me that Bill O'Brien. So they were down there they were on the 20 or something, and then when they kicked that field goal on 4th and 1, and then they ran that fake punt from midfield. I didn't understand that. Why didn't they just go for it on 4th and 1 so you don't have to run a fake punt? I don't understand that.
I have no idea. They were probably trying to catch him off guard because who would do that?
Yeah, that was weird to me. But I don't know. I like Pat Mahomes. I like the Titans. I have no real dog in this race because I had money from before the season on the Ravens to win the Super Bowl. So it's been a rough couple days for me. This has been a bad 30 or 4 day stretch. But I guess I'll be rooting for you for this bet. But Jacob said to grow a beard. He wants you to grow a beard.
I just had a beard. I shaved this morning. All right.
All right, so we're going to get into the NBA slate. As always, if you guys have any questions, go ahead, drop them in the chat. This is a pretty direct slate, in my opinion. Not a huge amount of games. And we have Russell Westbrook out for the Rockets, so that's going to really present some chalk. It's going to just present a pretty clear way to go about your lineup. So outside of Russ, in terms of injuries, I mean, really the only big one is Ricky Rubio's out. That's going to bump up, obviously, Devin Booker, Elio Kobo, Tyler Johnson. And then we have Porzingis might return. That's slightly bump down Luka, but I don't really think it matters. And I don't really know what we can expect from Porzingis if he does return his first game back after being out for so long. I'm sure they would probably be somewhat cautious with his minutes, but I don't have any actual news on that. But we'll just have to wait.
And it's the Warriors, so there's really no point to rush him back.
Yeah, so we'll just have to see. But we're just going to get into the positions. Like I said, if you guys have questions on any players we don't mention, you can go ahead and ask. But I'm just going to present the guys that really I'm targeting as of now. So point guard, if we're using DraftKings pricing, point guard is kind of interesting because most of the guys you want to use at point guard are eligible at shooting guard as well. So you're probably just going to be playing two of these guys. You obviously have James Harden. James Harden's a lock. The last time Russ was out, he shot really, really bad and still had 70 fantasy points. I mean, he still had a monster game and he didn't even shoot well. So if you count,
he had 81.
Yeah, he might have had over 80 on DraftKings. I think FanDuel was 70 or something. But regardless, really monster game and he didn't even shoot that well. So I mean, if he comes out tonight and his shot's falling, he can easily do that again. So I think it's pretty clear you're locking in Harden, probably in tournaments as well. I can understand fading him in GPP just because he's going to be so high owned. But for me personally, I would probably just play him on all of my teams, even if I was making like 100 or 150. Outside of him, you have Luka Doncic, really good play as a pivot off of Harden. I think on FanDuel you can play Harden and Luka together if you want. Obviously, really good matchup against the Warriors, and we know like how good Luka's been. And then we kind of get to these cheaper guys. I think Patrick Beverley's interesting against the Cavs just because they're so bad against point guards, and he's cheap. I think Alec Burks might get some ownership on DraftKings. We obviously have Okubo with Rubio out. I think he's the pretty clear value play that you want, especially on DraftKings. He's really cheap. FanDuel, he's shooting guard, so you kind of have a decision to make on if you want to play Harden and Booker, if you want to play Harden and Okubo. But we'll get to that. And then for tournaments, I like Ja Morant, obviously, the other side of that Houston game. I think he'll be pretty low owned in this spot. And then Trae Young, I don't think will have any ownership because everyone's going to be looking at Harden and Luka.
Yeah, Trae Young's definitely gonna have no ownership just because you're wasting all your salary basically on James Harden. So no one's really gonna want to pay 10-2 for Trae Young. But yeah, I love the Ja Morant call. I was on him as well. He dropped. They actually played each other without Russell Westbrook earlier in the year, and Ja Morant dropped 23 points. So without Russell Westbrook, the defense is a little worse. Trae Young had a 42-point triple-double, and Derrick Rose had 20 points and 12 assists. So their point guard defense goes down a lot without Russell Westbrook. So I could see another big game from Ja Morant without Russell Westbrook. I love the Patrick Beverley call. Point guards destroy Cleveland, and no one really plays Beverley, even though he is one of the highest ceilings for that price. His floor is a little low, but his ceiling's definitely pretty high, especially with the rebounds he gets. And, Colin Sexton and Garland aren't going to be boxing them out. So, yeah, there's not a lot of I like except Austin Rivers as well, just because Russell Westbrook's out, so he's going to play his 25-plus minutes like he always does without Russell Westbrook. So if he wants some value, he's 4.1K on DraftKings. So you need to find some value, and he's probably one of the best values out there today.
Yeah, so as of right now, I mean, we have Okubo and Tyler Johnson that I think you can use as value at guard. And then you have just like this group of Rockets guys with, you have McLemore. You can use some like Rivers. You have PJ Tucker, who we'll get to when we get to forwards. But if that's really like the value you're looking at right now, FanDuel, it's a lot easier just because the salary's looser. But on DraftKings, like you're going to be playing some slop if you're playing Harden tonight, and then it kind of just comes down to what other player you would like to get. Like you probably can spend up for like two guys on DraftKings, and then you're just going to be going full stars and scrubs. Who do you guys like better, Oubre or Collins? I would probably take Collins tonight, just because both of their big men are out. Bruno's out and Alex Len's out, so as long as that game is somewhat close, Collins should have a really big night, I think.
Yeah, and Ayton plays no defense whatsoever, so if Collins is going to play a lot of center tonight, he should have a huge game.
Yeah, so we'll move on to shooting guard here. If you guys have any other questions, go ahead. Like I said, most of these guys you can use at both positions on DK. So you have Harden, you can use Pat Bev here, you can use Burks here. You have McLemore, who we talked about, fitting with that Rockets value, and then you obviously have Booker as well. Do you think Booker is a must play on the slate?
I wouldn't play him if the matchup wasn't so good. I love shooting guards and small forwards against Atlanta. But he really hasn't shined too much with Rubio out. He gets like a 0.5% usage bump, and he's really only gone over 40 fantasy points in 2 games without Rubio. And he's played 6 games without him. So I wouldn't say he's a must play, especially with Harden there. You don't really need him. But I think I'm going to probably jam him in for a GPP play, but probably not in cash.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like FanDuel, I think that you can do some really, like you can probably get 3 studs in on FanDuel if you use Okubo at shooting guard. So I would rather probably do that than spend up for Booker there. And then DraftKings, like the pricing's a little bit different, but I would rather play someone like Kawhi with no Paul George than I would Booker without Rubio, correct?
Yeah, especially against the Cavs, they play no defense as well. But the only worry is a blowout risk. The Cavs aren't a back-to-back. They just got blown out by the Lakers. They could also get blown out by the Clippers, and you could see Kawhi not playing the fourth quarter. It's hard to predict those blowouts, but it's something you have to look at, limiting his ceiling.
Yeah, I do agree with that. But Evan asks, should I be reluctant to go with Giannis or go full send? I don't think anyone's going to play Giannis, honestly, because you have to think
Yeah,
that everyone's playing Harden for the most part, over 70% of the field. Um, and then on DraftKings, like you're not really going to be able to play Harden and Giannis together. So if anybody doesn't play Harden, I think the first choice for people would be Luka. So this is a night that you can get Giannis really low owned, and I'm never really opposed to doing that in tournaments. FanDuel, I think you could easily play Harden and Giannis together. So if you want to go that route, I think that's fine in tournaments. But yeah, I have no problems with Giannis in GPPs. I just think he's going to be pretty low on tonight.
yeah, I like Giannis, but I like stacking him with Julius Randle because they kind of bleed points to power forward. And if this game stays close, Randle's going to have a good game, so you can get two ceiling games correlated between those two.
Yeah, I'll never argue playing Julius Randle. But before we move on, I think some other guys at shooting guard, I don't mind Tim Hardaway Jr. He's relatively cheap if you want to get off some of the Rockets shock. I wouldn't really mind that. And then you also have Glenn Robinson. I don't know. Like the Rockets cheap guys are going to be chalk. I don't mind taking either THJ or Glenn Robinson just to like pivot off of them because I don't really think the Rockets guys are locks to put up huge games even though they're cheap.
Yeah, I actually like Hardaway as well. I kind of put a note here. He should be low owned, and he's gone off against the Rockets with games. He's dropped 20 and 25. So with that DK 3-point bonus, you can really get some good value out of him to pivot off the chalk.
Yep. Small forward is really gross. Like you have Luka, you have Kawhi, you have Giannis, all great plays, but you have to actually think about roster construction. So, like I said, FanDuel, I think you can play Harden and Giannis together if you want. I don't know if I will personally do that. So you're probably just gonna be looking at like some of the cheaper guys. Like you have Daniel House, Hardaway Jr., Glenn Robinson, those guys that I just talked about. And then DraftKings like Draymond Green, I think sticks out for sure at his price. Like as long as he's around that 6K mark, I'll take a shot on him. Probably don't have to play him in cash, but I don't mind him at that price tag.
Yeah, that's probably what I'm looking at. One more thing I forgot to mention. It looks like it's D'Angelo Russell bobblehead night. So
Oh yes,
you can get
little
an
narrative
interesting
action.
game stack there with Luka and Russell. So that could be interesting. But yeah, going back to small forward, I like Oubre. There's no Ricky Rubio, and Atlanta sucks against small forwards as well as shooting guards. So he's an interesting play. But yeah, just probably getting some of that value with House is probably where I'm looking, or going up to Giannis in GPPs. But obviously, I would probably want to stack Randall because if you're getting that ceiling game with Giannis, you need the game to stay close, and the Knicks don't really keep games close unless Randall has a pretty big game.
Yeah, I think DK you're saving with probably one of the Rockets guys. I don't know. We'll have to see, but FanDuel is kind of weird. I don't really know who I would play at small forward on FanDuel right now. I think Oubre is probably the obvious choice that you would want. You also
Hardaway's
have
a small forward, so you can
yeah,
get
okay,
that.
so you can use him. You can use House. I don't mind Michael Bridges, honestly. He's pretty cheap on FanDuel, so if you wanted to look at him, I think you could as well.
Eric Gordon also, if his shot's on, that could be an interesting play.
Yeah, he's so bad, but
I know.
I don't know. The last time Russ was out there, I mean, they staggered them pretty well, so you figure when he's in, he's going to be attempting to score. It's just a fact of if it goes in the basket or not.
Yeah, that is the issue.
Jacob asked, what about Saric? I don't know if I necessarily was looking at him on this slate. For tournaments, I don't have any issues with it, but he wasn't someone that I was really targeting early on for this specific slate.
Yeah, I mean he's 3'7", so you could.
Yeah, it's
I mean
pretty
it's
cheap.
a small slate, so you could take a chance on him. But yeah, small forward's kind of ugly. So if you want to just throw away your small forward position and take a chance on Sarge and GPPs, I don't hate it.
Yeah, moving on to power forward. I think it's obviously PJ Tucker as long as he's in. I'm pretty sure he's questionable. Am I right? Or did they
Um,
confirm he was in? I know he was questionable like last night. I'm pretty sure.
there's no questionable tag on DK, so
All right, they
he
probably
might.
confirmed it.
Yeah,
So, all right, so he's probably the best play here for his price.
I
He
hate
easily
Tucker.
can play 40 minutes and score 10 points, but you're kind of forced into it on this slate. So I think Tucker's a great play. I think Kawhi's a great play. FanDuel, I'll probably just play Tucker and Kawhi if we're you know being honest. But I don't mind Draymond. I don't mind Omari Spellman for cheap, but I think as of now it's probably Kawhi and Tucker for me, at least on FanDuel.
Yeah, I might try maybe get Aiton into my power forward position just because he's playing Atlanta. Center's Atlanta, but he's kind of hate playing him, but he's a definitely like him as a GPP player because you can. I love playing centers and you can fit him in as a power forward. That's always nice. But yeah, I like Collins. Um, yeah, I'll probably end up going Tucker just because I need that salary relief. But I hate playing him. But he's gonna get 40 minutes, so he could use some corner threes off James Harden drives. Get you
Yeah,
5 or 6 rebounds.
he
Enough.
has like weird games where he scores a ton of points, and then he has like a bunch of games where he scores like no points. He's a really interesting player.
Yeah, and he's always so cheap, and he's gonna be chalk, so you're gonna have to eat
Yeah, like
that.
if he's chalk, just play him because like if he does nothing, he's so cheap. Like, what's it really gonna hurt you? At least in cash tournaments, you don't have to play someone like PJ Tucker ever. But if he has a big game and everyone else in the world has him, you could just be like, not checking your app for the rest of the night, I guess.
Yeah, I'm definitely fading him in GPPs, just because his floor is single digits. So I'll take the chance tonight. I'm more of a GPP player now, just because most of my cash is in props. So I'll probably
Yeah,
be fading him tonight.
I agree on Collins though. Collins is like one of the best tournament plays on the slate because I don't see how anybody could really play him, and I don't see how anybody would be playing him over Kawhi in cash. So I think great tournament play. And I don't mind
Yeah.
like Montrezl Harrell, for tournaments. I don't mind like DeAndre Hunter for relatively cheap for tournaments, but um, I think it's pretty clear where you want to go for cash. And I like to call an 8. Honestly, I had him at center, but I kind of forgot they moved him to power forward as well on DK. I think that's a really good play. And it seems like the shine on Aiden's kind of wore off, and people don't really like to play him in DFS.
Yeah, and he's as long as he's under 8K, I'm fine playing him. He's got the double upside, and he's bad at defense, so you can game stack. You can even go Collins and Aiton tonight as well.
Yeah, I don't mind that. Center, we'll finish up here. If you guys have any questions, go ahead and drop those in. But I think Capella's like the clear cash game center that everyone is going to be on with,
Yeah, definitely.
with Westbrook out. So I don't think you need to overthink that. For tournaments, Collins, fantastic pivot, like we just said. I don't mind Rudy Gobert against the Nets. I mean, really good matchup. Really expensive price. I mean, he's over 9K, right? So I don't really see anybody going with him. So you should get arguably our favorite matchup against the Nets, really low owned. So I don't mind that. And Gobert's the guy that can get 20-20 when he's having, a good night. So I like that. And then Aiden, I think, is fine. Jared Allen, I think, is fine. I always play Jared Allen in tournaments. FanDuel, I think he's still power forward, so you could get weird there. And then if you want a cheap guy, I don't know. Is there any cheap centers you would take a shot on today?
Dwight Powell's 5'5", and he's playing the Warriors. So he's interesting, but that's not extremely cheap.
Yeah, I was gonna say like Zubac maybe, just because it's the Cavs.
Yeah, that's a good play, but he's not going to get you a lot of minutes. You
Yeah,
hope
it's definitely
it's
tournaments
a good
only.
game. And then DeAndre Jordan always has those games, so if you really need to take a chance, I don't mind Jordan. Let's see here. You can use Tucker at center, so if you're left there, you can always throw him in. Let's see here. Yeah, that's probably yeah. There's not much else. Maybe Boban if you're thinking Dallas completely blows out the Warriors and you want to take a shot, but that's probably less likely with Russell there. So Yeah, that's probably the lowest I'm going. Is probably either throw Tucker at center or probably Powell would be my lowest I'll be going tonight, especially on FanDuel.
Yep. Frosty said sneaky Gobert. Yeah, I don't think anyone's gonna play him today. I think it's a good.
No one's gonna play him.
It's a
Yeah.
good tournament play. If you guys have not already, you can see the banner next to me. If you guys have not already joined DraftKings, like a lot of people that are our customers play FanDuel. A lot of people that watch this stream play FanDuel. But if you want to give DraftKings a try, just head over to dfscover.com. There's a banner at the top of the homepage. Like the core guys that we're looking at. So what's like your core guys that you're targeting tonight? Like, give me like 2 or 3 guys.
So you obviously got James Harden, of course. Then
Harden's obvious.
I'll probably throw Ja Morant in my GPP core. Probably not cash, but he's gonna be. If I make 4 or 5 GPP lineups, he's probably gonna be. I'll be heavily owned compared to the field, so I'll probably throw him in 3 of my 5 GPP lineups. And then another core, of course, Clint Capella, and then probably I'd say Austin Rivers. So 3 Rockets, and then run it back with Morant as a GPP play as my cores tonight.
Yeah, I would probably say Harden for sure, Capella for sure. I would add Okobo in, and then I would probably pick I would probably say Kawhi as well. I think that's probably the guys that I'm going to go with today. Be sure to check out all of our free content at dfscover.com. I'll have final thoughts up later today for this slate. Obviously, if you guys are into prop bets or Monkey Knife Fight prize picks, be sure to pick up a Discord membership and get access to Joey Plays. He tweeted out his numbers from NFL season. I mean, a really good NFL season, but he's really good at all sports when it comes to props. And I can't wait till that gets legalized in Ohio so I actually can play it. But thank you guys for watching. We should have a stream tomorrow. Wednesday should be a big slate, and we'll see you guys then.